Ooh, another week, another My Hero Academia spoilers video. This chapter being 364, I believe. I hope I'm correct. I'll check afterwards. But yeah, picking up from last week, things were looking terribly for the heroes. We saw All For One being regenerated, Dabi coming back, and Bakugo looking like he's gonna die. And we're gonna get updates on almost all those things in this chapter. So let's get into it. The chapter begins with a flashback of the Doctor explaining that the bullets Shigaraki stole from the Hasakai, which is Overhaul's organization, were made based on a person's quirk, and that it kind of confirms the whole quirk doomsday theory. By the way, that person is obviously Ares. Her quirk was the one being used to make the bullets by the Sakai. The Doctor then, of course, found a way to reverse engineer the bullets that they had, and now All For One is back to his younger self, and he congratulates Endeavor and Hawks and everyone for making him resort to this kind of risky plan, and I'll explain why it's risky in a second. Because of full translations and everything not coming out yet, this next part isn't exactly word for word as how it happens. Like, I don't know if All For One says this in this moment or the moment before, or to Hawks or not, so I'm just take it with a grain of salt. We'll see when the translations come out. Here, All For One quickly dashes towards the ground and starts stealing people's quirks, and Hawks, obviously being, extremely fast, follows after him, but he is a little too late as he's already stolen some quirks. But then they get a little face-off where All For One seemingly says that him using this ability is finite, like he won't be able to use his form forever, as I guess he'll decay or something will happen, but it's okay with that because he has Shigaraki's vessel to fall back on and to transfer his consciousness into, essentially. He says something about passing the baton, so whatever that means, I'm sure we'll find out. Hawks actually does save someone from All For One's grasp here, so I don't know if this is before or after they lost their quirk, but anyways, good on you, Hawks, for being awesome as always. Moving on from this, the chapter cuts to the United States of America and the White House, and we see people protesting outside with signs saying we're All For One, because of course they are, and we see some politicians pretty much just talking about Star and Stripe's death, what it meant, why she died or was able to give herself into death, and then we see Star Stripe and All Might's kind of vestige type thing like we saw with Bakugo, so very cool stuff, of course, since she was a big fan and inspired by All Might. But yeah, I don't have too much else to say about this part. Pretty interesting, but I'm more interested in what I'm about to talk about next, the most crazy part of the chapter. Yes, the theory I and many other people reluctantly put forward about Best Jeanist and the Jart, of course the Gene Heart of Bakugo, has come true. Best Jeanist is using his quirk to try to piece together or keep Bakugo's heart functioning somehow. And now Edgeshot is even joining in, someone who we barely ever see in the story, but he's always looked really cool, and it looks like he's gonna sacrifice himself somehow to save Bakugo. Again, as I've been mentioning a lot in this video, because of the lack of clear translations so far, again, because the spoilers just dropped, it's not too clear what's exactly going on, but pretty much Edgeshot is using an ability. As we know, he goes in and out of people, but yeah, so he's gonna bring back Bakugo by shooting himself into the heart somehow and using this technique, which is also gonna sacrifice himself because of something. I really don't know. Maybe he's kind of just doing like a heart transplant or something. There's a lot of denim and confusion going on, but we'll figure it out in the translations and next chapter. But yeah, until then, Miriko and everyone else is pretty much holding off Shigaraki, and maybe Bakugo can come back, most probably, since we got people sacrificing themselves now. But yeah, that's it for the chapter. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Most specifically subscribe, trying to get to 1,000, only at like 200 something, but yeah, to help out a lot if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you in the next one.